Welcome back to the box office, guys. Got another episode for you today after a week off. Decided to take the weekend off from boxing because of the long holiday break. So we're back at it. We're back at it with Gilberto Ramirez versus Sullivan Barrera. Absolutely no value in this fight as of right now. But there's some value in some undercard fights. And as time goes, I didn't want to waste too much time with you guys waiting on prop bets. So we're just going to go ahead and run this show how we have it, which is a minus 1,000 for Gilberto Ramirez. Sullivan Barrera plus 550, meaning all the value is for Sullivan if you think he can pull off the upset. Now, Gilberto Ramirez has looked vulnerable in some fights, but Sullivan Barrera looks vulnerable in every one of his fights. Let's go to the next slide, guys. So we have Gilberto Ramirez, the Vegas favorite. He is a 6'2", well, 6'2 and a half with a 75-inch reach. He is 41-0, 27 knockouts. He has a lot of those wins coming by stoppage, have been from early in his career. He does host a victory over Alfonso Lopez, majority decision over Jesse Hart, and then a unanimous decision over him as well. Just keep in mind that he has had fights with Maxim Vlasov, who fought Joe Smith not that long ago. Competitive fight. A lot of people think it could have gone the other way, but that was in 2015. Fighters do grow from tough fights. So when we look at the other end, you have Sullivan Barrera. Okay, and he is, you can say, a career journeyman, specifically after the L he took against Andre Ward. But he did come back in a good way because he did beat Joe Smith, and he did get in the ring with Dimitri Bivol, got stopped in the 12th round, got a win, and then lost to Jesse Hart. He's going into back-to-back tough fights. Gilberto Ramirez should be a very interesting matchup, just because stylistically, this can be a fun fight if he fights similar to how he fought Joe Smith. But let's move on to the keys of victory, guys. So we're back here, guys, and first and foremost, we have Zurdo Ramirez, who is a very aggressive fighter. Alright, very aggressive. Throws punches in bunches. He throws punches from all sorts of angles. So first things first that I'm going to say for you, Ramirez, is you need to get off the line. What does that mean? What that means is that when you shoot, if you throw a jab, don't keep your head in the center, which is a common thing if you look at the little clips of stepping through punches. Granted, the guy is, in retreat mood getting hit, so there's no need for that. But when you commit to a punch, make sure you also commit to not getting hit by one in return. When you throw that jab, when you throw that right hand, follow through all the way so that that punch is not going to hit you square in the chin if he does decide to counter. So get offline, and I do know that we like to be an aggressive fighter. You're going to want to come fighting forward so that you can have momentum going against, in your favor, so that Barrera, he's going to be, the ball's on his field. How's he going to react to that? Usually the one that has leverage has more power in the pop because they can use their legs more. So if you're coming forward, you can kind of sit down in your punches and throw a little more force than your opposition. Okay, so now number 3 is set up those shots. Now, as I mentioned, you're a come forward fighter, you throw punches and bunches, but you want to set those punches up. You have a knack for throwing uppercuts from different angles, hooks from all sorts of angles that sometimes land because of the opponent. If they have like an earmuff guard, you catch them from under, over the top. But set those punches up. Set it up with your jab. You are a taller fighter. You have the reach advantage. You're going to throw those punches. That's who you are. I'm not saying don't throw what you're comfortable throwing. I'm saying set up those comfortable punches that you want to land. Specifically that uppercut that kind of comes from the bottom. I know you are a southpaw, so that uppercut comes from right down here. Set that up with the jab, feint, come over the top, use your jabs, use your feints, set up your shots, fight moving forward, and please, 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 to make this easier on yourself, get off the line. Shoot, 1, 2, get off the line. You throw a hook, off the line. You throw uppercut, off the line. Keep moving as you throw punches so that you're not getting caught. You do this, you're going to move on and prove Vegas right onto why you were such a big favorite. Now let's take a look at the underdog guys. Sullivan Barrera. Now, couple things I need to warn you, man. As I mentioned, Ramirez has looked vulnerable before in fights, previous fights. I mentioned Barrera looks like he's vulnerable in every fight. He always gets caught. He always goes down. He always gets, points, rounds lost because he goes down. Don't be there. Okay, the man is going to come fighting forward. It's going to be up to you whether you jab, stop the momentum, whether you're going to draw the line in the sand, if you're going to be on your toes, or if you're going to just sit down and try to fight fire with fire. I suggest just don't be there when he starts throwing those flurries. You can either pivot out, shoot with him, and counter, which I'll get to right now. But I prefer you to 1-2, draw that line in the sand, and then when he sets down his feet to start throwing, pivot out, move out the way, get out of that range. Or he does possess a longer reach advantage. Now that can be tricky because you can say if you fight on the inside, you'll have the advantage. Zurdo loves those type of fights. So do you, it looks like, specifically when you look at that Joe Smith fight. Just don't be there when those punches are being thrown in bunches. Use your feet work, know when to dig in and get out. Know when to draw the line in the sand, throw that 1-2, wait for him, move out the way. You're going to want to not be there for the flurry of the attack so that you won't be in that vulnerable position. Now, there's a reason why you're in this position, but you can minimize that if you also start countering. You start countering those punches. If there's a late juice jab, come up over the top. He is a southpaw, so you're going to want to look for that right hand when he starts throwing that jab. Start countering as he's coming in, as he's stepping in. And from time to time, if you're on the inside covering up, catch, boom, boom, shoot your own shot, and then get out the way and don't be there. Now, third thing I'm going to say is go downstairs. I mean, we all know high volume punchers have a motor, but you got to start, pumping gas out of the engine, You need to take something out of the gas tank. And how do you do that? You start stabbing him to the body when he's coming in. You start shooting a jab up top, right hand of the body, pivot out. When you're on the inside, catch, jab up top, body out the way. All right, you got to start poking holes and making them run out of gas. He is a fighter that can get a little sloppy, specifically towards the end of the fight. So if you go downstairs, you're going to be doing yourself a huge, huge favor in putting yourself in a better position. You look at the odds, the value's all on your side. Do we think you can pull it off? Well, with your history of always being dropped, it's very hard for anyone to trust that. But if you're a gambling man, you'll place at least some gas money on that, see what you can make of it. Prediction time. Alright, so my prediction is Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez should be able to pull off the win. Should be an interesting fight though. Sullivan Barrera does make it interesting while he's in there. Usually what happens is he'll lose points because he gets hurt, he gets dropped. Something typically happens. But if he can stay up afloat, not get dropped, it will be an interesting fight because Gilberto Ramirez, like I said, he does get sloppy from time to time, specifically towards the end of the fight. And it could make for an interesting fight. What does $20 on Sullivan Barrera really amount to? Not much, right? What is Sullivan Barrera by knockout amount to? We don't know. I think Ramirez should win. Do you guys think he should win by knockout, decision? Ideally, Sullivan Barrera has been hurt, so he should be dropped in this fight if Ramirez is what he's being promoted as. But only time will tell on Friday. Remember, this fight is a Friday fight. Not Friday ESPN Friday Night Fights, but it is a Friday night fight. So it should be interesting. We do have Conor McGregor, and we have an exciting undercard that actually has some value. I will be posting videos on the undercard bouts this week. I'm going to try to post them either tomorrow or Thursday, just depending on my schedule. I know a lot of the odds are taking a little bit longer for this Friday night card to come out. As soon as they come out, I'm going to try to make some time on my schedule and make a video for you guys. But here we have it. Zurdo Ramirez should win. How he wins? Do you guys think he should win by knockout? Decision? What do you guys think is this is going to go down? Should be an interesting fight. Sullivan Barrera, always an entertaining bout until he gets dropped. And even then, so he's still, throwing punches to the end. Let's see what this Friday holds. And let's talk the fight game, guys. How do you guys think this one's going to end? Comment, please comment, like, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.